A lot of people don't realize this, but Minecraft is one of the best games to create your own underdog story. You know, like the old stories when you turn nothing to something. I created this world on PS4 about 5 years ago. So now I think it's time I told my story. Honestly, I don't feel like I'm any different than the average Minecraft player. A close friend introduced me to this game in about 2013. And it's funny because most people who've played this game since then are typically considered pros by now. And I admit that even though I have a lot of history having fun and enjoying the game, but within the last couple years I told myself, what if I took every skill that I've learned and compounded throughout these years playing this game and I combined them all into one world? And I wish I could be one of those people to tell you how many thousands of blocks I mined, how many thousands of blocks I've traveled, or how many hundreds of things I've explored. And to be 100% real with you all, I have absolutely no clue. But I was able to retrieve some history from day 850 and our current day, 3,551. So I felt it was only right to give you the images from before while showing present day as the after. Now, I know I said I've been playing this game since 2013, but I hadn't taken this game seriously or consistently enough to keep up with the updates, honestly, until these last few years. So starting a fresh new survival journey, I admit at first, was a bit intimidating, especially with all the new things that I hadn't experienced yet. I mean, let's be real. The last time me and my friends played this game heavily, you could consistently find diamonds in Y12. So I made it my own personal goal to do some catching up. But somewhere along the journey, catching up just wasn't satisfying enough. I kind of realized it'd be more fun to do something that I never done before. And that's honestly to just let my imagination run wild. Whenever I played Minecraft in the past, I always would just make my own personal base and then call it a day. But then the more I played this game and the more I traveled, I just thought, this is a whole world with no advancement, no civilization, just small villages and tons of natural disasters. And of course, in any new world, that's always what it feels like playing Minecraft, right? And I guess that was my eureka moment. I said, what if I tried to rebuild the whole world civilization from scratch? So here we are at day 859, and also where the start of civilization began. Originally, this was just a small base where me and my friends decided to build homes and settle. And after one of my friends built that XP farm you see over there, I knew those days of struggling to build were over. Now, like I said, I don't know how many thousands of blocks I mined, but I do know that today our civilization expands to almost 4,000 blocks. Now, I wish I could say that this is where it all started in this exact location, but in reality, this is about 80% of where it started. Most people giving their world tour would typically have all of their netherite armor on and maybe even an elytra on their backs. But in order for me to tell you why I'm not wearing any of that stuff, well, I would have to actually go into the beginning of the story. And not this beginning you see here in front of you, it's this one. This is where I first spawned in, and today this is my official Minecraft Survival Forever world. So anyway, let's get right into it. Of course, you know, with this being the spawn location, none of these things were actually here in the beginning. This was an empty area. I decided after building civilization to come back here and create a tutorial grounds for new players. I'm sure returning players and experienced players can benefit from these grounds as well. I actually made this tutorial grounds for my friends who've never played this game and struggle to figure out the mechanics early on. My bird is really loud, so I had to sit him down. But anyway, yeah, I've had friends who struggled to play this game early on because they didn't understand the mechanics. And I also remember what it was like for me trying to relearn this game. So this time with everything I've learned, I've laid out a tutorial for the next person to come in and hopefully have some clarity to get a better experience than I did on my first run. I won't read all the signs, I'll have to save that for another video, just because I want to save as much time as possible to show you all the important stuff. But you guys let me know in the comments if I missed anything in particular that you would want to see. So now we begin the official tour. Going through the tutorial area, I got some resources that I've mined with a silk touch pickaxe and laid out for the new players to come and see. Like I said, this whole area is designed to just give you a brief understanding of some of the basic materials and some of the basic items in the game. After seeing past the tutorial at spawn, You'll also be able to see that I laid out some starter equipment, tools, weapons, anything that you would need to begin your journey. And I've also used signs just about everywhere that I've established areas, just to help give people a little extra guidance throughout the world. And for my experienced Minecraft players, what I have for you is a full world for you to explore and enjoy on your own accord. I've also written guidebooks for any players that need any refreshers or any questions for the lore of this world. If you continue through the tutorial, you will see nearing the end that there are signs splitting the pathways into two directions. The left side I created as a guide for a new player's journey, while the right side is a guide for experienced players to go off and explore on their own adventures. Just for the record, experienced players, this path actually disappears and you're just off on your own. But if any new experienced or returning players are willing to take the other direction, the left-sided path is actually what guides you to the civilizations that I've built. So if you're looking for a nice calm route that's not zombie infested, I recommend you go this way. After following the torches, you should end up right here at this acacia fence. And it's nothing really special on the visual side. It's really just a small dock that guides you right into the civilization. So what you would do is hop right in a boat and sail right through the fence. I forgot I had my cat with me, so I'm gonna pick it up really quick. Alright, and then you just sail right through the acacia fence. Now going through the acacia fence is basically a small river of lanterns. You can kind of just use these to guide you through. I should probably tell you now that I don't use a map or coordinates, and I usually don't show my days played either. And I feel like I did all that to really submerge into that inner pioneer. Well, I've even resorted to using the sun to let me know what direction is east and west. And the more I travel west, the more I build. This area is actually one of my first early establishments, and that little orange box on the hill is one of my friend's first bases. So if you dock your boat right here at the acacia fence and you head up the hill, there will be two acacia signs. One sign is going to lead you into less advanced civilization, where I basically found a village at the top of that hill. The other way is where I actually have continued to build civilization. For my experienced players, I recommend the opposite direction. But for safety purposes, I slept, and now we can continue the tour. So the house I just slept in was actually another friend's house. If you head a little bit south of his house, you will see the very first nether portal that I opened in this world. And that is pretty much everything in this area. When I first started exploring, I felt like at some point I would want to get a feel for my netherworld seed. So I said I should make another portal as soon as I can. And I'm honestly glad I did. I say that because this netherworld seed is probably the most difficult and most deadly netherworld seed that I've ever been given. So we will not be visiting there today. I will save that for another video as well. And this right here is my first house. Well, technically it's like my second. I built a few traveler homes when I was exploring, but this is the house where I really started to establish resources, so I figured we should visit here. There's not much to this place, but it did serve its purpose. And if my memory is correct, I probably spent about 200 or 300 days here. Like I said, I don't think I was too keen on staying in this location to build my main house, so I just built a little starter home to keep moving. And honestly, based off the location, this place still worked itself out. And I felt like I should leave this area built exactly how it was, because now any new players can use this place to their advantage as well. If I had to give this place a name, I'd say it's like the intermediate level tutorial. There aren't as many guide signs, so now players can focus on exploring and journeying on their own. Now that I have found my horse, we can continue our tour. So traveling along this guide path and across shorelines that I've established, you'll see these, I guess I would call them light posts. I use them to help guide me back to shore when I'm traveling along the ocean. So right here at the top of the hill is our cutoff, and this is where the trail goes into two different directions. I built a small dock at the bottom for players to explore the seas, and I also created a trail going west to continue into civilization. So as we travel further west, we're coming up on the first city that was established. If I had to say how much ground we covered in total, I'd say about at least 2 cities worth. And all of this started because the more I traveled, the more villages I found. And the more villages I found, the more resources I felt like I had to bring back. So honestly, all of this started with me just finding struggling villages. And after helping this village get back on their feet, I told myself I might as well start building my official base right here. And that's how the first town was born. Like I said, this is where it all officially began. Well, at least the part where I started rebuilding civilization. I don't know if I can show you guys the inside of every building right now, simply because I live streamed this world tour once and it took me about 2 hours to do all that. So, like I said, you guys let me know in the comments what you would want to see next, because I'm trying to condense this video down to as close to 30 minutes as possible. So in this video, I'll show you guys the most meaningful buildings, and later we can break the rest of our tours down in parts. But this area that you first walk into is very simple. This is a farm that we use to support the rest of the city, so we don't actually harm the animals in these farms often, we just use their resources. As you can see behind me, I have 2 more farms. So let's get right into that. Any of my experienced players, I'm sure you already noticed that this is an iron farm. Until this day, it still holds strong. Let's go inside real quick, give it a look. So as you walk inside, you'll see players have the ability to come right to this chest above and grab some iron and trade with the villagers right inside this room. And there are also other villagers you can trade with scattered throughout the cities. Moving on to the next farm, I'm sure some of my experienced players can notice again. Yep, this right here is the XP farm. Both the iron and XP farm were built by another friend, but he did inform me that you can find these tutorials for both of these farms on YouTube. I actually built a raid farm. I also built the automatic sugar farm and bone meal farm, but those places are kind of far away from this location, so we'll have to save that for another video too. But anyway, the way we got this farm set up is very simple. You just take a trident, throw it right at that rear piston I was punching at, turn all the levers onto the machine, and just sit there and collect your XP. This is the official on lever that sends the zombie pigmen down the chute. And there are also 2 levers on the side that catch their loot. After that, you can turn this middle lever on and sit here and collect your XP. I'm gonna just give it a second to let you guys actually see a zombie pigman fall. And then I'm going to turn it off because I don't want to stand here and collect XP right now, and I don't want to break the machine. So we are leaving. But yeah, like I said, super easy farm to use, super simple build, even though it may look a little intimidating. The most ridiculous part is usually mining the obsidian. My friend that built the 2 farms behind us also built this bridge, which is technically like the first established bridge of the city. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, but it still feels like an important milestone. Here is another friend's house living right next door to me. We'll go inside another day. We also got some vacant homes, a few stores, a few markets. I'll show you guys everything in the morning. And yes, this is my house. I'll give you a quick little 360. And I am actually gonna go inside and sleep, and I will give you a tour of the house in the morning. Okay, after a good night's rest, I'm ready to give you a tour of my home. Like I said, this is technically my base that I use to actually start building the other parts of town. But I say home is a forewarning because when I play Minecraft, I tend to build my bases like homes. So let's start with the first floor. One thing I feel like is a household staple is my personal aquarium. And if you look a little bit closer, you'll see that the salmon gets stuck. I thought about fixing it, but I mean, you know. So anyway, moving on. There isn't a whole bunch to the first floor. It's really just supposed to be spacious, luxurious like a loft, kinda. This floor is also where I keep most of my pets. Surprisingly, I haven't named them yet, and I have like 50 name tags, so I'm gonna do that at some point. But you know, nothing crazy, lounge area, and you come over here, we got the kitchen. I didn't do a ton of decorative building, and that's honestly because I felt like most of my days were spent on making things with the functionality first. But now that I have more free time, I feel like I'll be doing a lot more decor. But anyway, that's it for this floor. Moving up to the second. Right up the swivel staircase. And this floor was built for, I guess, solely entertainment. I felt like the magenta rug was a nice touch. This area right here is like the entertainment center. And I picked up a song from Aghast in the Nether, and I feel like it's only right that I play a few seconds for you real quick. that's enough of that. Moving on, let me just put this back real quick. This room right here is the indoor pool, and this is kind of just where all my birds chill out at. Got a little diving board right here. I might as well give you a quick little demonstration. I don't use this room very much nowadays, but I did use it a ton when I first built it. They've been around a while too. I probably should name them as well. But I mean, that just gives me something to do. The other rooms are just extra bedrooms. We don't have to look at those right now. Let's move to the third and final floor. At the top of the stairs, this is my personal library. And this is also my personal enchantment room. Let me try to give you guys a full room view. And I apologize I can't get all cinematic with my camera angles. Like I said, I'm on PlayStation, I'm not on PC, so. But anyway, you get the point. Let's dive right into a few things. Right here, I do have actual shelves where I do house actual enchanted books. These are pretty much just the extras I keep on standby. And the villagers at the Iron Farm have some really good books too, so sometimes I'll just stock up and bring them back here. Right near my enchanting area, I actually have all of the lore books that I wrote, and they are pretty much scattered throughout the world if you guys want to read them, but here are all the originals. I'm not going to open any of the original copies, but I will open another book or two later just to show you guys what I have written in some of them. But anyway, let's put these back and move on. Okay, so the last thing on the list is actually my bedroom, so I figure we might as well save the best for last, right? Oh yeah, and can't forget my buddy the copper golem over here. But anyway, this is basically the master bedroom. This is where I've spent the most time. This is where I've slept the most. This is where I live. Let me just give you guys a full room view. Take it all in. Go ahead. Okay, so first things first, my favorite feature of the room, my bed. As you can see, I've kind of given it that floating bed look while sitting it on chains. Then I have a double chest as my headboard with all my personal weaponry. But I mean, things are pretty peaceful nowadays, so I don't really use much. Moving on to another one of my favorite things, my personal jacuzzi. Now, I will admit I've spent an unhealthy amount of idle time just sitting here. But it wasn't for nothing. A lot of the pondering for the forthcomings of the city happened right here. And I mean, come on now, if I was to just sit here, could you really blame me? But this is another reason I love Minecraft, because you can spend hours building something and then spend hours looking at something that took you like 5 minutes to build. But that is pretty much all there is to my bedroom. I won't go through all the loot because that even takes time up as well. I'm trying to keep this video cut down as much as possible, so we are moving on. The area we're heading to is important to me because this is when this place stopped feeling like a base and started feeling more like a city. So one of the first buildings in town I want us to visit is the public library. This is basically a similar setup to my personal library, but I got tired of my friends coming to my house to enchant, so I built this place for new players and for all my other friends to use. Here is one of the lore books that I mentioned earlier. This one covers enchanting. I'm not gonna sit here and read through it. I'll save that for you, the viewer. If you've got a quick thumb, you can read it in this video. Otherwise, we'll just save it for another video in another part. But anyway, I've left enchanted books in here as well for some of the new players to kind of get themselves comfortable with on enchanting. And I also left a few copies of the guidebook downstairs on the shelves up here. But that is pretty much all there is to the library. We can move on to the next location. Okay, so this area was built as kind of like a shopping plaza. There are a few things to get into. We can go ahead and start with the butcher shop right here. Inside we do have an actual butcher. I'm pretty sure he's asleep. Let me just check right quick. Yes, he is. But anyway, you can go inside and still grab food if you needed to. I try to keep it stored in the barrels with him. And we are moving on to, I am headed the wrong direction. Let's go back this way. And down the road, we have a little self-serve pastry store to the right. Just go right inside. And at the tables, we have a little setting of milk and cookies. And like I said, it's self-serve. I didn't make too many automatic farms for everything because I have a lot of friends that are new to the game and I don't want to spoil them. But just give me a second. I'm going to refill this table. good as new and ready to serve the next customer. Moving on. Up next, we have ourselves a little armor supply store here to the left. Another pretty simple place as well, more so for the visuals. But anyway, if you head inside, we got plenty of iron armor because we got an iron farm. And I left a few other armors to put on display. Of course, this stuff isn't considered expensive, so take what you need. Now we can move on. Going across the road, we have the weapon store and shooting range. If you go inside, we do have a villager working here as well, but it is nighttime, so he is also asleep. But in the daytime, he's a fletcher, so you can buy a bow from him, or you can just pick one off the wall. And of course, there are the signs right above the fence gates that lead you to the shooting range right in the back. At first, the shooting range was honestly for show, but then I added a few chests of ammo, and now you can actually go on the wall and test out one of the weapons for yourselves. Head right back to the range and take a few practice shots. Hopefully you're a better shot than me though. But anyway, we gotta move on. I think that's enough of the first city for today. Now I want to show you the evolution of the second city. This is the shore where the first city ends and the second city began. And at this point, you're probably wondering, did this person actually keep building and still not go to the end and fight the dragon to get an elytra? And you would be correct, because no, I did not go to the end, and no, I have not gone and gotten an elytra at this point. And I'm gonna be honest, even some of my close friends that still play thought I was crazy. But I genuinely just didn't think that they seen my vision for this world. I wasn't just building this time, I was testing my own building skills, trying to see if it was actually possible to rebuild civilization. So it started out with me just sailing this water first, exploring, searching, and traveling for any signs of life or anything resourceful. Then I arrived on land, I seen all the open space, and I thought, why not just keep building? And so that's pretty much what I did. Instead of stopping at the first city, I figured, why not keep going and build a second one? While I show you these before and after images of the second city, I think it's time I told you why I'm not wearing any armor and why I don't have any elytra. And this world didn't start with me and just a few friends originally. It actually started with about 8 of us. That first city you witnessed would have looked completely different today had everyone stayed. But it's sad to say that that wasn't the case. The first city you witnessed was actually rebuilt. At one point, me and my 7 friends played this game faithfully. I mean, countless hours on this game, nights on end. All that changed when I experienced the worst thing that you can have happen to a Minecraft world: corruption. Up until about day 2000, all the shared progress that I had with my friends was gone. I tried everything I possibly could to get the world back. I tried PlayStation support, Xbox Live support, Microsoft, and all the answers were pretty much the same. Once my world was corrupted, there was pretty much nothing I could do. So I loaded up my PS4, and all I could find was this old save. I told myself this time that if I was gonna rebuild, I was gonna outdo what I did the last time. Most of my friends never joined this world again, but the ones who did got to see everything happen from start to finish. I thanked them for helping me on the journey and told them one day I would repay them. So maybe it's only right I give them first dibs on the elytras when we finally fight the dragon. But until that time comes, I have a few things left that I want to show you on the tour. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to make a part 2 and 3 because there is no way I'm going to be able to show you the inside of all of these buildings in one video. At least not without well surpassing over 30 minutes. So I'm going to show you the second most important building, and that is City Hall. So we are just going to head right over there really quick. Okay, and here we are at City Hall. I really do apologize for not showing you guys everything. I really did want to at least show you the Coliseum right there behind me, but within due time. But anyway, City Hall is mostly important because it holds a lot of the information and lore of the world here. Even though I did give a brief summary, I felt like it would be pretty cool to leave it in writing. But anyway, let's go right inside. Okay, and here is the book. And I guess you can treat this as the same idea as the other books. If you want to read it here, I hope you can pause pretty quickly. Otherwise, we can skim through it for now and save it for another video. And that is pretty much the lore and story of this world. Okay, and before we wrap up the tour, there is a few more things that I want to show you. I guess we can take a quick tour of City Hall first. Near the lounge areas on the first floor, there is an office. Nothing too fancy, just something a little different. Okay, and if we head upstairs, another thing I wanted to show you guys, the sculptures me and my friend built to resemble the journey that we have in this Minecraft world. So if you look here, we have 3 windows, all resembling a different part of the journey. The window on the left, of course, is resembling the start of the journey. Then you have the middle and end. We've actually used glowstone, and that's because we literally wanted something to highlight our path. So what you're seeing is a symbol that we created to basically resemble as unity. And the statue on the right resembles our work from the ground up. And here in the middle, to me personally, is the most important because it shows that our personal symbol is broken. And the TNT is intentionally there to show the highlight of corruption. The deep slate tower is to show the rebuilding process. And here in the third window is basically the finished result. The symbol is reunited, and then the statue to the right symbolizes the completion of the building process and the amplification of our symbol. And then when you head to the stairs, you can see everything all together. Moving on to the next floor. Remember when I told you there was only 3 of us that got to see this world completely finished? Therefore, I thought it'd only be right that there should be 3 offices in City Hall for the 3 founders. But anyway, moving on to the next office. And this is my other friend's office, the one who actually lives next door to me in the first city. Okay, and that is just about all there is going on with City Hall. We can move on to the museum. I actually told my friend when I was finishing the world that I'd take my armor off. It looks like he did the same thing. So it looks like we both have our armor on display, and that's actually what we are going to go and visit right now at the museum. Okay, welcome to the museum and art gallery. And to be honest, there isn't a whole lot to this place. Originally, the museum served more of a purpose as a monument to help me travel than an actual museum, but now that we've reached actual endgame, I felt like it was only right to put some actual art on display. Oh, and I forgot I left that here when I was building, so let me just pick that up real quick. Alright, and now we can move on to the second floor. Like I said, I don't have too much physical artifact in here, and if anybody's got a good eye, then you probably noticed that I have wither skeleton skulls, but they're sitting in my room. But anyway, we are moving on to floor number 3, and I have to admit a lot of my friends weren't too keen on this texture pack, but personally I think it brings out a lot of detail, and especially with some of the basic building blocks. Alright, and now we are moving up to the final floor. And this floor is where I have reserved my armor. Give you guys a quick look around. So if you've been wondering why I haven't worn any armor, this is why. This is the armor that helped me safely build the entire civilization. And those 2 diamond pickaxes were basically there to sculpt at least 90% of the journey. And now I guess this is where I explain why I don't have an elytra. Well, the elytra, along with many other resources that can be found on various adventures, are untouched in this world. That direction may not look marked, but in that area is actually the direction towards the ancient city. Once I located it, I left it untouched. That's for another brave soul. I think I've only found 1 trial chamber in the whole world. So that's another challenge for experienced players to have fun with. And of course, the end is still untouched. I was hoping that one day I could turn this whole map into a server. Then I could actually leave the elytra hunt up to the players. But anyway, if you look closely, way at the end of the shore, there's the bridge that leads back to the first city. Then you can see the lights go through the second city and lead all the way into the third area, which is basically rural farmland. And so yeah, that pretty much sums up my entire map. Like I said, I was really trying to keep this video close to 30 minutes, so I apologize we didn't get to see every single building. There's still a lot of cool stuff I want you to see, but we've already went over our time, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you the final area before we wrap it up completely. So let's go ahead and head to the final part of town, which is the rural area. Okay, and here we are. This is, long story short, the farmland that supplies the two cities. This is where I house every crop in game, and also where I come to pick up resupplies of food. I've thought about fortifying the area by, making automatic farms or using villagers to help, but to be honest, it was something I really enjoyed about the simplicity, so I kind of just kept it like this. Oh yeah, in between these three cities, there's probably about 4 to 6 different villages I've found, and some I've built on my own. But I guess I have to save that for another video too. But this is about as far west as civilization expands. So that pretty much wraps up our tour. I hope you guys enjoyed. And who knows, maybe the next time you see me, I'll finally have an elytra on my back from beating the dragon in this world. I really appreciate if you gave the video a thumbs up. And don't forget to write in the comments what you want to see next. And please try not to say something crazy like the end portal. And even though I do have everything marked, I kind of wanted to reveal things slowly. So maybe next video we can start with, I don't know, maybe visiting all the villages that are nearby. But I'll try to leave that for you guys to decide. And anyway, it's getting pretty late. The sun is going down. So I will catch you all on the next video.